The Hourglass twins. 2 planets, closest to the sun. I guess you could say they're pretty hot twins, huh? I'm gonna start with the twin with the plant life. We're gonna call it Sandra Bullock. Every 100 years, the sand switches between the 2 planets because of gravity or something. Since it's only every 100 years, it's pretty unlikely that we'll have to deal with. Man, what are the odds? So, since Sandra slowly fills up with some sand, you're going to need some speed to see everything in one go. So you're going to want to crash by this bongo astronaut bathing in the heat of the sun, and he'll tell you about a cave in the dried-up lake below him. Fly down into this crater and immediately change your brightness setting. Very important. Walk down this tunnel until you reach a fork in the road, and then rather than going left or right, go up. Go through this hole in the ceiling and head forward until you reach this chamber. The writings on the wall say that, that fossil over there, the anglerfish, it's from Dark Bramble. And it's strange that it's here, because we're very far from Dark Bramble right now. Also, apparently, anglerfish have poor eyesight and great hearing. Once you're done looking around in here, fly up to this exit tunnel, because if you go back the way you came, you'll probably be crushed by the sand flooding the tunnels now. Get back to the surface to find this crashed alien pod. It's more or less on the side opposite the bongo astronaut. So climb inside Sandra's hole here, and follow either one of the tunnels out until you reach this chamber full of alien buildings. Locate the blue light atop one of the buildings, and then to the right of that building, there's a light tree thing. So you follow the tunnel behind it, through this canyon, down this hole, and through the tunnel behind this ruin until you've reached this unadorned room with a message in the middle of it. The message says, "Having been to the moon that wanders, we know that there is a 5th place that it moves to. This is the source of the signal ancient. Although we cannot reach the signal this way, we are able to view the source from a distance. A trip thus profound has become a journey, significant that we all undertake." The moon that wanders is, of course, the quantum moon. I still have no idea how to get to the 5th location, but apparently you can't just ride the quantum moon there. If you head back and get to the top floor of the building with the blue light, you'll find a back door that leads out into a tunnel that leads to an underground tower that has a projector talking about the 4 towers on the other twin and how they are teleporters that activate when they are aligned with the proper planet. And if you look on the ground, the seemingly random symbol is actually a map of the other twin. The non-sand land on the other twin is a ring of rock with a bunch of towers on it, and this is a side view of that ring. If you look up from the towers and look at the symbols on the wall that correspond with them, they indicate what planet the tower will warp you to. This one is to Giant Steep, this one is to Brittle Hollow, this one's to Timber's Hearth, this one's to the Hourglass twins. That doesn't actually make any sense. If you climb up the tower here, there's this dream catcher, and when you look at the center of it for long enough, the grate at the top of the tower will disappear. Boom, practically magic. And then you can fly back to the surface. Now it's time to go to the other twin, Sandler. Adam Sandler. Sandler has those 4 towers I mentioned, as well as a bunch of alien technology. The only thing that's actually interactable, though, is the towers. They teleport you to those Dreamcatcher platforms you've seen on the other planets. This mysterious one is the Hourglass Twins tower. The tower that corresponds with it is deep under the sand, so you're going to need to wait a while for it to be unearthed, and don't land your ship here. If you stand in the middle of the tower, you'll just get sucked back onto Sandra by the sand, so you'll have to wedge yourself under this lip here, and then when the sandstorm comes around, you'll be teleported to this room. Yeah, I don't know what it means either, but that's all there is to the Hourglass Twins as far as I know. Hey, thanks for watching. I left some important stuff out of the other guides because I didn't know about it or it didn't fit into the other guides, so here's that stuff. I call the center of Brittle Hollow a black hole. Well, it's actually a wormhole because you don't die when you go into it, you get teleported. Very important that you know about that. Secondly, the Nomad, the Nomad is still not very interesting. I hold that belief in my heart, but in the last minute of its existence, it passes through Dark Bramble. That might be relevant, it might not be. It passes through it in a very glitchy way. You might be able to correspond that with the plot, maybe the aliens that crashed in Dark Bramble, and then they were able to get crystals for their ships out of the Nomad so that they could use their escape pods and launch off. and then immediately crash one of their escape pods. I don't even know why they landed their mothership in Dark Bramble in the first place. Seems like a poor choice. Lastly, I'd like to talk about some cheats that I used to make the game easier to record. In the 1.1 build of the game, you can teleport to the different planets in your ship with the number keys. And you can explode the sun with the question mark key, and you can get your suit with G or something, so you don't need to get it, and you can just teleport directly to the planets. I can't actually remember what key the getting your suit one was, because with the newest build, the only cheats that I know of that work are the planet teleports, but they only work when you're in the ship. Well, as with the old one, you could teleport it at any time. And last, but certainly not least, I use this a lot. If you press F1 a couple times, it disables the UI. I think the button for that is different in the 1.1 build, but you can't download that anymore, and I'm sad that I lost it, so